I'm faster, I'm more secure than you'll ever be. I'm faster, I'm cheap and my name is XRP. To the moon, yeah, I get everybody by surprise with my pocket. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I get everybody by surprise with my pocket. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. Bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked now. Bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked now. Bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked, bank the unbanked now. Bank the unbanked, now bank the unbanked. Yeah, everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I get everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I'm faster, I'm more secure than you'll ever be. I'm faster, I'm cheap and my name is XRP. I'm faster, I'm more secure than you'll ever be. I'm faster, I'm cheap and my name is XRP. Everybody by surprise with my bucket. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I get everybody by surprise with my bucket. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see. I get everybody by surprise with my money. Everybody by surprise, XRP. Everybody by surprise, see it coming. Everybody gotta just wait and see.
Hello everyone, let's get started. I'm no financial advisor, I have no financial interests, I have no sponsored links, and I don't want no donations, please. And I really hope all my followers are not idiots. Why do I say that? I put out a tweet on Twitter, obviously, today regarding this Ripple Alpha project. I have received from a follower some links, and I thought, let's see. I mean, and basically like 95% of the reactions were like, spelling errors, not the HTTPS site, blah 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 blah. What's the whole point? I mean, basically, they didn't even care to read what the whole thing was about. And I went a little bit deeper because I received from that guy who sent that information to me the name of the kind of founder of that digital asset. So I went looking for him and I found a video where he was actually talking quite a lot about Ripple itself and how he got rich by investing early on in Ripple, 2013, at the age of 23 in that, or 22 in that case, and obviously he made millions. He is studying, I think in Japan, if I got it, somewhere in Asia, it's not important. IT security. He was really interested in Bitcoin when he first heard about it. He got to know about Ripple, and now with the lot of money he made out of XRP, he basically funded a crypto exchange in Indonesia, which I already find quite amazing for a guy in his age. And if you watch that video, actually I could put the link. He's a little bit hard to understand, but it's really, there are some interesting things he tells. Hold on a second. that one. 1 second. Pause.
Want to sell online?
Nice.
Go to Wix.com today and do it like this guy.
Pause. So, sorry about that. Remove the time. Get back to you guys. Put the link. Okay, so basically I read the white paper and I think it's quite interesting. I mean, and even if it is a scam, I mean, who knows? You can obviously already now sign up somehow to buy for, I think, $200 of that coin, but not more. There is a lot of details missing for sure, but the idea behind that project is actually not too bad. It would actually fit very well. Happy New Year to you as well, Mickey Be Fresh. It's a pleasure to have you on my live stream. Actually, Manuel, one of my Swiss faithful followers, I even had a phone call with him once or twice. He issued in the past several times, not doubts, but kind of, if XRP did go to $10,000, then the kind of question of Manuel would be, how would micropayments work? Because one drop would already have quite the value. Maybe it's another coin. Maybe it could be that this XRP Alpha. I mean, it has basically the same properties as XRP itself, because it's a copy of it. And I literally have no reasons to believe why that should be bad or anything. And I literally hope that all my followers understand that everything which helps, and this is something Brad Garlinghouse repeatedly told in interviews, that it's important that the whole industry grows. Hallo, Richard, Kumpel. So, that was basically what I wanted to say. Did I want to say something else? Not really. But let's see. Maybe we get into a nice discussion. XRP for sure, I really have no clue. It's usually I stream 2 hours later. For everyone, yes, I see a Happy New Year. I want to wish every of my follower a Happy New Year. I really hope you start well. If I can motivate you, then I really hope I can keep you motivated, because I told it in previous live streams in the old year already. Now it's about the month, since I'm totally relaxed. I kind of, the fibers in my body not just hope anymore. It's like they know it'll happen. It's a really good feeling, actually. Morgen Deutsch, we'll see. Maybe. That's a good question, Mickey B. Fresh. Do you think Evan Schwartz left Ripple because of his involvement with Interledger Foundation? Well, basically, he stated in the second, there was a reply from himself to that tweet where he basically said goodbye, where he told he would take a time off, but he would continue, like from the coding area, but he would continue to support Interledger, etc. And I mean, not having any proof for that, but I have basically a similar, my body had a similar reaction as to the saying goodbye of Dilip Rao. To me it sounds like job done. I mean, now I can really turn to other stuff, to my family, or in case of Dilip Rao, retire. That's my reaction, and for sure there will be, as he stated in the reply to his tweet, there will be future work. But for me, that's actually a good sign. I mean, if he knew there is still like important stuff needed to be done, he for sure wouldn't have taken a pause. No, in the mountains, that'll be really my vacation, Florian. I really will enjoy. Also getting a little bit, I mean, I will certainly check Twitter once in a while and stuff, but I really tend to get away. Content consumer is asking about if 10k isn't considered a micropayment. As far as banks are concerned, it is. Up to 10,000 banks, dollar. I think Stephen Thomas confirmed in one. I made some tweets a few weeks back about it, where he was telling that he was talking to a banker, and after a while he figured that they were not talking the same language, and then he was asking the banker, what do you consider micropayment? The banker told him everything below 10k. Mickey B. Fresh, that's one thing. Stablecoins could work for micropayments. They have up to 15 digits. The question I have there is only each transaction. I mean, we're basically taught that the concern from Manuel regarding XRP having a high price for micropayments is the transaction cost, and the transaction cost will still be in XRP. So you would basically pay more for the transaction than you would actually pay, which also doesn't make a lot of sense. I really don't know. But I'm pretty sure. Actually, I watched today my own post-Swell video again, if I was telling crap and stuff. And at the part where I was talking about that I was talking at Swell with Ethan Beard, I mean, his his not reaction was actually when I was asking him, how about micropayments if XRP went to $10,000? There was no reaction. I mean, if internally at Ripple they were thinking about $5 to $10, he would look at me like, are you a bit crazy? We think about $5 to $10 and you're talking here about 10,000. I mean, literally nothing like that. So I'm sure they have been thinking about all those scenarios, and somehow, some or the other way, they know how it'll work. And I mean, after all, the current micropayments, like really the micropayments, actually content consumer micropayment 10K. When Stephen Thomas or the guys from web monetization, like from Coil, etc., talk about micropayments, they talk about sub pennies. And I mean, those payments, they do not even now run on RippleNet. They run on ILP directly. And on ILP, it could be any coin, basically. I mean, it could be XLM or whatever other thing. Ripple IPO, I honestly don't think that the current investors are interested in having an IPO. Not just yet. I don't think so. Mr. T, not any of the central bank digital currencies, in my opinion, will be a threat to XRP. They will all need to be bridged somehow. Bobby XRP Axelrod. Well, I mean, those. Actually, my tweet was. I tried to kind of make SamIM create a new idiotic theory, because it was actually one of those glitches. I think it was more or less a year ago, where he started creating his, I don't know, private ledger theories and stuff. Problem is the amount of value transferred was literally, I don't know, around $1 or so. It was like nothing, not even. It was literally below way below 1 XRP. And from a guy, I don't remember his Twitter handle, Joe something. If Mike is here, is Mike here? I didn't see him yet. Let me check. Joe something. Actually, I think I find him fastest here. Joe Smo. He basically explained that this Digital Gate Japan, all those, I think it's the, hold on, XRP chart. I think it's the active markets. How is it called? On the live chart, everything you can see there. If you dare choose Japanese yen, all those exchanges there are just gateways on the XRP ledger. So it's basically not coins or XRP really traded on exchanges. Mark C. Well, I mean, that's Mark C is having a comment. How can we be on mile 1 or 2 of a marathon, as Brad Garlinghouse usually tells, when 2 important people leave the boat? That cannot mean that the job is, or that we're on mile 1. Basically, it means Well, actually, Marxy, my interpretation is sorry, I have to reread. Let me read it for you. How Marxy writes, how can we be on mile 1 or 2 of a marathon, as Brad says, and it's job done? It's a long way off from job done. I connected that to the two guys leaving. That would actually be more my interpretation. The job is almost done. And I mean, this mile 1 or 2, I don't know how you call it, image is, I mean, imagine Ripple would tell us in 2 weeks XRP will be $2,000 of worth. I mean, that would be crazy. They couldn't do that. Then they had, if they did that, they would really have a problem. I mean, they have to do understatement. It's literally not possible the other way around. But I'm sure we're way further ahead than mile 1 or 2. And also important to understand this mile 1 or 2. I mean, usually people connect this marathon image with the price of XRP or whatever. But that's, when Brad is talking about that, he's talking about Internet of Value. And that, until we're there, like really there, meaning that you could send me in this chat window here $5 via some, I don't know, command, and I'd receive it on my whatever WhatsApp or Telegram application. That'll be Internet of Value. And until we're at that stage, it'll take years. But when, I mean, remember this bell curve I showed once, where we are in kind of the progress? I'm pretty sure that 2020, 21 and a little bit of 23 will be like 80% of this Internet of Value, 100%, and the last years then will be those interconnections. I mean, right now we how is it called, WeChat, WePay is not interested in working together with, I don't know, Western Union or MoneyGram. Why? They would give up market share, if you so want. But eventually it'll be like that literally every payment system will be interconnected with every payment system, because you will not be making money anymore just by offering a payment system, but by actually offering added value on top of your payment system. Mickey B. Fresh, that is actually referring to the micropayments in ILP, the streaming payment. The thing for that, and I explained that before, is the following. In ILP, if I send $10,000 somewhere, the ILP connector has to put, before I send my 10,000 to him, he has to put 10,000 of his money into escrow. And when the final recipient then basically kind of tells, okay, I'm ready to receive the money, the connector will release his 10,000, and in the same moment he will receive the 10,000 I'm sending to him. And because this escrow the connector has to do is quite a burden, especially for high values. Imagine you're sending 5 million and 20 other people send in the same minute also 5 million. The ILP connector would have to have 100 million like in nothing, and they just don't have that. But if you're sending micropayments, let's say, I don't know, $1,000 or so, then you would just need to put away $5,000 or $10,000, like 1,000 for all the 10 people sending money, but each just for like, I don't know, a microsecond or so until the next 1,000 goes into escrow and is sent from my side. And that's basically what they mean by micropayments. It's just a reduction of risk for the ILP connectors. Yeah, thousands of a penny. Well, I mean, David C. At $10,000 for XOP, that's not possible, for sure not. But as I mentioned before, once like the Internet of Value is literally there will be other coins which will serve those freaking small values. I'm 100% sure. Richard once discussed 100 billion. Honestly, I would need to do some research in order to be able to do that, but I can do so, Richard. Why exactly 100 billion XRP? I think David Schwartz said that in some forums. I think it was kind of a gut feeling. Frank Sparano, Swift cannot be acquired. It's basically belonging to the banks. It's kind of like, I don't know how Swift actually, I don't know about, as in German I would say Gesellschaftsrecht. I don't even know if Swift is the kind of legal organization. I have no clue. Manuel is asking if David Schwartz himself didn't say as well that he wanted to start a new project. And I think so, that he told that. And you're right, I think it was about 1.5 years ago. XRP for sure. I don't know about Instex. I cannot tell, but I can investigate. Instex. What's it? At what stage do we throw the towel? Well, this question, I really have. I mean, that would be like, that would almost be like in the Nazi time, when basically the people living in Germany didn't realize what was going on, because literally few people actually knew what was going on. But the ordinary people, they had like the parents of my father, they had no clue, literally no clue. And I mean, we are all intelligent, and I mean that's why I'm usually asking you guys, give me feedback, tell me where I'm doing mistakes in my thinking and whatever. I mean, I literally cannot believe that so many people are so dead wrong. That's why I rather prefer not to consider throwing the towel. Literally, I cannot think of it. I mean, I mean, surely anything can happen. But honestly, I really don't think so. I mean, actually, I don't remember if I talked about in the last English or German live stream, but CD something, I don't know his Twitter handle like that. I think it was him. He made a very, very interesting tweet series where he actually, and this can be actually assumed, and I even added a screenshot and a link to a presentation Sakai or whatever that Indian Ripple person's name is, made at the IMF. And in that presentation, it actually shows very clearly that RippleNet is connecting central banks to each other. And in the tweet in this tweet series from the CD guy, it was basically, he was trying to explain that he thinks that this might happen, that all the central banks will basically connect via RippleNet and ILP eventually. And then there was another guy, which is actually a parody account of Brad Garlinghouse. I think his German handle name is Knoblauchbrot, like garlic bread or something. And I don't know how I came across him. Anyway, he tweeted something. He's based that parody account. He's actually, I think, even having a blog somewhere. But he's not just focused on XRP only. He also has blog entries about other stuff. However, he had a very interesting blog about that same subject, that maybe it's really the central banks RippleNet is connecting. I mean, when we are talking about liquidity and market making, who would be the best to make market making for the high value payments? The central banks themselves. They have endless liquidity. I mean, and I literally could think that this is the case. There is no towel throwing, Kevin Patterson. I won't throw my towel. Steven, yes, I would. Morris King, Schwartz, Evan Schwartz is retiring, not David Schwartz. Thank you, Kato, for telling the legal status of Swift. Ciao, Manuel. And actually, Mickey B. Fresh and the other guy, Kato, mentioned that Swift is a cooperative. There is a shareholder structure, but guys, you need to understand, not every company which offers shares for shareholders can be taken over. Ripple is one of them, because Ripple is not traded, didn't have an IPO, an initial public offering. It's not, you cannot buy Ripple stock at the New York Stock Exchange, and as such you cannot take it over. Basically all the current shareholders would need to agree that you can buy their stock. But I literally don't think that this will be happening. Sagar Sarbai, thank you Gaurav. Actually I don't remember who his name was, because I received so many messages. Someone asked me if I would do another interview with Darren Moore, and I asked him, and he's actually up to it, but it will have to wait for at least 2 weeks. This weekend he cannot, and next weekend I cannot, because I'm still in the mountains. So maybe in about 2 weeks or so I will be having another interview with him, and I guess we will be talking a little bit about the delay. I mean, basically like 90% of the XRP community was, a large part of that was even sure end of 2018 that the system is kind of ready to moon. Even more so in 2019. I mean, there is so many dots connected, it's unbelievable. Chicken or egg, forget about dates. I mean, they will only lead to disappointment. Oje Sami, who says no 3 or 4 digits this year? I still think it'll go there. I mean, I cannot think of anything else. I mean, there's always the argument, yeah, but banks make a living out of the fees and stuff. I mean, saving all that money and still, I mean, those corresponding banks might still be multi-hop correspondent banks, just not with Nostros anymore. I mean, not each bank will trust each bank somehow in RippleNet, and in order for them to be able to do transactions, they have to do that. But that's like end-to-end connections that will never happen. So there will always be like big banks in some countries where other big banks from other countries will trust, like in the current correspondent banking system. And then the smaller banks will just connect to their big bank in their country, and from then on they can be kind of sure that the payment will arrive properly. And now I lost my thread, why I wanted to say that. I totally lost where I started. I should go back in the video. I think regarding the 3 or the 40, and I mean, now I remember, regarding those fees, the banking, I mean, I think even in RippleNet, a multi-hop or a like hop bank can still get a fee. The fee will be lower, but there might be way more, that the volume might be way higher. And imagine what the banks could do with the money they kind of just save. I mean, I'd rather have $1 million cash at hand than possibly making 1 million throughout the year. Because with the 1 million cash at hand, I'm pretty sure I could maybe make 2 million out of it, or 1.5 million, or whatever. Frank Sparano, I mean, domestic, and I have been repeatedly telling that within Japan itself, there is no XRP needed. Yen to yen doesn't need XRP. Euro to euro doesn't need XRP. Dollar to dollar doesn't need XRP. XRP is a bridge, but as long as you're traveling the same water, you don't need a bridge. Regarding BRICS, Brian Novak, I mean, too many speculations going. I stated that in previous live streams already. We're now, hold on, 40 minutes in. Okay. I don't care so much about any new, I don't know, connections and theories anymore. I just feel very deep inside myself. All I know can just mean one thing, and that's moon. And even if some of those dots fail to be connected, like to be real connections, or others add to the whole thing, I think it's drops in the water, and eventually, I mean, this ILP graphic from Everest, which popped up about 2.5 years ago, I think it was early 2017. That's endgame, and endgame means ILP for everyone and XRP in the center. Excellent connection, so you can still hear and see me. 160 live, that's not too bad for today's Thursday. Graham Robson, nice to see you. So you're not so angry at all to come and check upon my live stream. I really would like to excuse for anything I've done wrong, but as long as I don't know what I've done wrong, I cannot excuse Graham. Chicken or egg? Yes, I mentioned that already. It's really XRP being sent or actually it's not even XRP being sent, it's yen being sent. IOU yen on the XRP ledger. Everything on the XRP charts are IOUs. XRP for sure, no, but I think it's somehow connected with Binance. But what it's actually, just before the live stream, I started to. What I did is, it's a little bit not so easy to extract that information from Ledger Expose, but I will be doing an analysis of all the escrows at at least the size of it. I won't go into details who is holding them and stuff, but I wanna get a feeling there. And I tell you that's the reason why I thought the website doesn't work, but it's just taking so long because there are so many escrow accounts. Users 77836, I don't know. Thank you, Bowlable Beer. I mean, guys, really, don't lose hope. Don't waver. Is that correct? I think don't. I tell you again, I'm since about a little bit more than a month now. And my wife, even longer. I think for her it's almost 2 months now. Before she was always a little bit, she believed, what I was telling and stuff, but always not really sure that it would really take off once. She really just trusted me, but on herself she was a little bit shaky. But the last 2 months she kind of tells me over and over again, I know it'll come. And the same happened with me about a month ago. I don't know what triggered it, but maybe many little things. I really don't know. Exactly, Ian. Gracias. Don't give up, hold strong. Price will go up soon. I mean, just this new regulations all around the world. I know from Japan, from Europe, and from US, and surely in other countries as well, where we just don't hear about, that banks will start buying cryptos very, very soon. If it's in January already, that I don't know. I doubt it, because at least in Europe they have to apply for such a license, and then it'll take some time. I think for the full application for such a license, the second deadline I think is in March, 20th of March or so, and could be that until 20th of March or so that there will not be a freaking bull run. But once the banks starting getting into the crypto business, come on, they will not just buy 500 XRP, they will buy 500,000 XRP. And even if they do it OTC, that OTC shop will have to buy 500 times 1,000 XRP over time. I don't have any. Well, actually, I do have. I got as a present half an Ethereum, I think, and the only other project so far where I could see quite a good price increase, not the same as with XRP, is Solo. Solo is this project which is kind of coming out of Coinfield, the Canadian crypto exchange, and Sologenic is aiming at digitizing securities, and I think, if I remember properly, they will, someone correct me, but I think they will back their let's say they digitize Apple stock, so they will create an Apple stock token, And I think they will back it with XRP. Mickey, can you confirm that if you're still here? I think that's how it's intended to be. Which basically would reduce the circulating supply, because if XRP is used as collateral or backing, it cannot be used anymore. However, and then somehow this solo coin on itself plays also a role. I forgot about it, but I could see that this coin will also have some profits. I don't think factors 100, but maybe two digit factors or something. I don't know. But honestly, the thing is, I have like 4 accounts now: eToro X, Bitstamp, Bittrex, and Coinfield. And on each of those 4 exchanges, I set up the same sell orders. I think at 10, 20, 50, $75, and then 100, 200, 500, 750, and $1,000. And on Coinfield, I couldn't even create the one at $10. And I asked, why can I not do that? And their answer was because it would eventually help flash crash or something, if something weird happened on the exchange. But because I had those XRP on that exchange anyway already, and Solo went for pre-sale, I thought, okay, let's buy Solo then with those XRP. The reason why I'm doing that is I want to see on which of those 3 exchanges where I actually could set up those sell orders, they will execute the fastest once the price rises. That's basically what I'm trying to figure out, because that might give me some information on which exchange I may want to sell if I need to sell something with a higher value. That's the only reason I'm doing that. That's basically what I'm invested in. Tezos, someone asked me about that already. No, I don't know. Robert FP1414 CSC, I told it previously already. Tell me just one thing about CSC coin which requires a coin and or couldn't be done with fiat itself. I asked that. I'm the debate. I don't even. DM Logic is his name. And his answer, it does KYC and AML. Would I want to pay for a blockchain which does KYC and AML? It's nice. I really understand that, but I wouldn't pay for it. It doesn't even need a coin, or a coin I pay for it. Same for, let's say you have a blockchain which takes care of my educational records. Why having a coin which is tradable on an exchange? It doesn't make sense. I could maybe have coins in case of I apply for a job at a certain company and then I send the HR responsible a coin, and with that particular coin he could unlock my records for, let's say, 2 weeks or so. That's it. But there is no need for either me or the HR guy to pay for that coin. It's literally no need. And the same I really don't see for CSC. I don't see why. I mean, could be that you will make 50 or maybe even 500% profit, but I mean, I'm not for 500. I'm not invested in XRP for 500% profit, really not. I'm not even invested for factor 500. Robert FP, in the future that will not be the case anymore. This withdrawal with Internet of Value, it'll be like instant all around the world. They were the Amazer. If you refer with identity coin to CSC, why would I pay for that? XRP is the one. But you're not the Rafael, right? I mean, you know whom I mean. Okay, Robert FP1414. That's a really nice thing. But you could do that with a non-blockchain solution as well. Let's say I don't know, you could do that with your Visa account. It's not something which couldn't be done without it. That's why I do not call CSC utility. Utility is something which cannot be done differently. I don't think R3. Actually, David Schwartz answered in a quite a long thread today. And after that, we will slowly close the stream for today. Where I don't know, some guy was talking about R3, and I think, if I remember properly, that guy kind of he kind of wanted to let us think that most likely R3 will be responsible for the high value payments, which many people do. I don't, because and that was actually explained in that thread, maybe even by David Schwartz, I don't remember, but someone explained on for the Corda settler to work, if I want to settle in XRP, I need to have an account in XRP, a wallet, which basically means the transaction will be visible for everyone, and this is something banks just don't want. They don't want no one to see how much they have and how much they transact. That's why ODL is so nice, because it hides everything. And David Schwartz's reaction when he was kind of asked about R3 and the Corda settler, he was, his answer was something like, I don't care. It's running with XRP, but totally not connected with Ripple and ODL and stuff. Ripple is really, I don't think that they're interested in R3 at all. I don't know where we are regarding the price. Actually, and with this I will leave you alone. I really had a weird dream. I think it was yesterday, or maybe today. I don't remember. It was really a weird dream. I woke in the dream. It was basically like, I don't know, I think it was yesterday when we were like 1.5% or so plus, at least in my time zone. And then all of a sudden a drop to like 9 cents within a minute or so. And I kind of like was shocked seeing that, because I couldn't, like in my dream, because I couldn't believe it. And I was really looking at the price and I couldn't believe it. And like while I was watching it, it dropped even further to like 4 cents. And then, wow, now I need to buy. And like I was, I need to get money ready, stuff like that going on. And while I was hyper excited about that low price, it started to oscillate between 9 and 4 cents. Like every, I don't know, 5 or 10 seconds, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And after about a minute or so watching that, it went up for like 150% from, not from the 4 or 9 cents, but from the previous 19 cents. And then I woke up, because that was kind of like, for me, the, okay, now we're going to the moon. Because I don't know how the dream would have continued, but I'm pretty sure that it would not have stopped at 150%. So last question, and while I'm waiting for the last question, I'm actually wishing again everyone, even those who joined a little bit later, a happy new year. Wow, 180 concurrent viewers. That's amazing. That's really amazing. Thank you. I really want to thank you guys for your interesting questions. Please be alert. Keep hodling. Thank you for your trust and your confidence. If you find any failure or mistake in my videos where I'm talking figures, please let me know. Because it might be that I'm really not seeing something, but usually I'm trying to read, like the figures I showed, what was it about, in my last 2 live streams, when I was talking, I don't remember what I was talking about, but I remember that I changed the calculation a little bit for the German live stream. Those figures were like denominated differently, but the result was basically the same, and it just gave me or myself reassurance that I'm most likely not doing any mistakes. But please, if you find, tell me. If not, you can always leave me a comment at ipinky77 on Twitter or on any of my YouTube videos. And with that, this will be the last English live stream until, and then we start in the normal rhythm again, I think around the 14th of January. Let me quickly check. Exactly, 14th January will be the next ordinary English live stream, because next week I will be away. Thanks everyone, have a good time, talk to you in 1.5 weeks, and I hopefully will have a really nice time in the mountains near Verbier in Switzerland. Bye bye. Bye bye.